Is popping, y'all? It's man, Cloudboy Bales, and welcome to another episode and the fifth episode of Weekly Wednesday Predictions. Anyways, lots to go over today. If you like what you see, comment with your thoughts, subscribe, and let's get down to business. Thursday night football game, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. This, I think, are the top two teams in that division. Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield's off to a really good start this season. And same thing for Atlanta. Kirk Cousins, I think, is obviously a top quarterback in the league. He's just not regarded as one. But this is actually a really interesting matchup. You know, everyone's like, really? You know, a couple years ago, this would be bad. But this actually is not bad. I mean, this could definitely have implications for winning that division, which I feel like is a lot better than it was last year. Between the two, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. Going on to Sunday, we have our first London game. The New York Giants are taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Never would I ever thought the Minnesota Vikings are undefeated, but somehow here we are. New York last week also got embarrassed at home by the Denver Broncos after only allowing 60 passing yards. A game-winning field goal ends up going wide to the left, and yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is happy right now. A win would be great, but unfortunately, the way that I'm seeing this Minnesota Vikings team play, this Minnesota Vikings team looks very similar to a team that, you know, I've been kind of watching a lot. And the offensive play calling that I'm seeing, this Minnesota Vikings team is legit what the Rams were in the last couple of years. This is their coach, you know, O'Connell or whatever I think his name is. He was their offensive coordinator. Exactly what I'm seeing out of the Vikings is exactly what I saw out of the Rams. This Vikings team is Super Bowl worthy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's how they are. I think Minnesota goes on to 5-0. If they're beating the teams that they're beating, now everyone's saying, oh, they're gonna choke and to go under pressure. I could definitely see that happening. But man, this Minnesota team is no joke. And literally Sam Darnold is like possibly could be the MVP. I mean, seriously. What the heck is going on in Minnesota? That's all I had to say about that. Next up, Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. At least Chicago I thought sucked, but I guess they get an easy team like Carolina, so I guess I'll take the Bears. Really, I guess I have no choice. Next up, Baltimore Ravens at Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati did get a needed win, but I think they're garbage, and Baltimore is a team that, honestly, I don't think anyone wants to play. Yeah, I'll take the Baltimore Ravens for sure. Next up, Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. Oh boy, this is going to be a bad one. Miami is the biggest joke in the entire NFL, man. Without Tua, their offense is so bad. It's so bad, embarrassing to watch how bad Miami is this year. I feel bad anybody who's a fan this year. And same thing with the Patriots. They're even worse. These two teams are like the legitimate worst teams I've ever seen in my life. I mean, even though I normally would take Miami in any situation, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to take the Patriots. Because that's how bad Miami's playing. Next up, Cleveland Browns at Washington Commanders. How about Jaden Daniels? He's my pick for Rookie of the Year. I had him on my fantasy team now, and I'm not benching him. Man, Jaden Daniels is having one heck of a rookie season. I'm taking Washington over Cleveland. Cleveland's a freaking joke. Next up, Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville Jaguars. We might not see Anthony Richardson on this one, but without them, Joe Flacco was able to lead the Colts to a victory. At this point, I think Anthony Richardson is a bust, and it's pretty obvious at this point. Jacksonville still has not won a game. Doug Peterson will probably be fired very soon. I'm going to take the Colts to actually, with Joe Flacco and the Colts, to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ooh, next one. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Texans. I mean, Buffalo had a bad week last week. I think they're going to come back, rebound, and they're going to get a W against the Houston Texans. I think Houston, is a little overrated. They're not as good. They're getting there, but they need some work. I'm going to take Buffalo. Next up, Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. A lot of center talk about the Raiders right now. First off, Devontae Adams is now requested to trade. Pretty much the Raiders season was already over to begin with. Between the two, I think Denver, going on 2 wins already. I feel like if they get another close win, this is great for Denver. I feel like, maybe this will give Bo Nix some positive leverage. Maybe, I'll say Denver gets this win. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at San Francisco 49ers. Oh, by the way, I did not mention Detroit Lions, Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles, and Los Angeles Chargers are all on bye this week. This is the first week of any byes, just so you know. Next up, Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. Another talk with the San Francisco 49ers. Christian McCaffrey has been dying. I think has tendonitis in both of his legs. That could be career-altering. Hopefully he is okay, and that is not a career-ending injury, and he can get this fixed so he can come back and play NFL as soon as he can. And it's just terrible news to hear. Regardless, I think San Francisco beats Arizona anyways. I'm not too worried about that one. All right, next up, the Green Bay Packers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. This would be a great game if they had Cooper Kupp and Nacua, but of course, Matthew Stafford, I just don't know. Looking without those guys, without those 2 weapons, Matthew Stafford seemingly is just not doing anything. The Packers have been beating the Rams for a while. I know it's the first time it's in LA, so this is different, but after the way that the Packers played last week, I feel like they needed another week to rest Jordan Love, because clearly they almost came back and pulled it off, but it was too late, too little. And I feel like, this is a team they can definitely show up and get a good revenge victory out of. I'm going to take the Packers in this one. Next up, New York Giants at Seattle Seahawks. I'll take Seattle. I guess they did lose last week, but, who the heck wants to take the New Jersey Giants? They did. New York's not as bad. They almost beat the Cowboys, but it was close. And then, Sunday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's safe to say that Russell Wilson will probably not get a snap at all his time in Pittsburgh. I think Justin Fields is pretty much doing well enough to be pretty much looked at as the guy right now. I think Russell Wilson could sign somewhere else if a team actually really needed a quarterback at the moment, but I'm pretty positive that this is it for Russell Wilson's career. This was the year he needed to really prove himself, but this injury kind of really started. And if Justin Fields is doing well enough, I don't think they're really going to make that change. But I think, to be honest with you, I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I just don't really buy Dallas to see it at all. I just really don't. And then finally, Monday Night Football. New Orleans started off going 2-0, and their last 2 games have just been heartbreaking, terrible losses where they just can't play like crap. And the same thing will happen again. I think it'll be a closer game because for some reason Kansas City, I don't know. I don't know what about them. But Kansas City just seemingly keeps getting away with the most close wins. I give credit to their defense for playing good, but man, Kansas City's offense doesn't do anything until the postseason. But I guess they'll probably get a win where the refs will bail them out just like every single time. I'll take Kansas City Chiefs on primetime once again. Anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time.